sound check. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
If you can just put a yes in the chat box if everybody can hear me. There's always a delay with Hangouts.
Yeah.
It's a quick sound check. Can everybody hear me? No?
No. Yes.
Yeah, that was Schubs from Poland. Reg Jip, no? Just check your loudspeaker there, Reg. We got a yes from Francisco, and we got one yes and two no's at the moment. So if somebody can just put a yes or a no in the chat bar. Yes from Francisco, great. Yes from Frank, and a yes from Tracy, and a yes from Reg now as well, and our friend there in Poland, and a yes from Chris McLeod. Okay, thanks everyone for that. Try and keep it short and sweet tonight. I'll be passing you over in the next few minutes. Well, probably less than that, to my friend there, Gerwin Duggan, who will be presenting the Vile Angels business opportunity. I'm not going to go through the slides, my full slides tonight, to keep things short, and then we probably have more time for Q&A towards the end. But basically, my name is Adrian Hibbert. I'm a property entrepreneur based in the Cardiff area of South Wales, obviously in the UK. I've been a property investor for 20 years. But as well as property, in 2008, I took a bit of a break. I took a 2-year holiday in Spain and started to look at other alternatives of making money online, and started looking at the internet. And basically, that's where it all started. So yeah, I've been involved in a number of businesses since 2008. Quite a few successful ones. A few of them, most of them, sort of came and went, which is quite a sad story. But the best thing that has happened to me is obviously the Vile Angels opportunity, and I joined that in May the 8th of this year. And basically, I started on a gold membership, €89 a month. The second month, I upped it to the platinum membership of €145 a month, and now I'm actually on the emerald membership of I think it's €550 a month I'm paying. I actually put €5,000 in as well of my own cash. Obviously, you don't have to do that. I made that payment on a credit card within the first 2 weeks of joining. And yeah, we had some great news a few days ago. The actual $5,000 that I invested. Most of that went into Trig Media, which is one of the companies that Vile Angels has launched, and that has already hit the stock market. And we had a great buy offer, or sell offer rather, for Trig Media of 7.5 cents. So all those shares that I bought back in May were around about the 1 cent mark. So basically, I've had a nice 7.5 times return on my money since May. And obviously, there's a lot of people that have joined over the last 12, 18 months that have even had a better return than that. So yeah, it's all looking good. And the worst scenario is even the people that have joined in the last few months, the last, say, 3 or 4 months, have at least doubled their money. So a great result there from the first flotation of Trig Media, and there's more to come, obviously, with a lot more of those companies. But anyway, I'm going to pass you straight over to my friend Gerwin. Now, Gerwin is my upline. He lives quite local to me in the South Wales area. I've known Gerwin for around 4 years, and I was invited to one of his parties 4 years ago, one of his barbecue parties, and yes, a lot of history since then. We've been good friends, and I thank him for introducing me to this business. And yeah, over to you, Gerwin, and fight away with the opportunity.
Okay, thank you. I will attempt my screen share first of all, because I'm not a particularly good person with this Google Hangout thing. Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that fine, yeah.
Okay. Hi guys. Like Adrian said, my name's Gerwin. I've been involved with VA since the beginning, which was June the 12th, 2012. And when I first seen this opportunity in Sweden, actually on a boat, when it was a big boat. It was a cruise boat. Didn't understand a word of it. The only part I heard was investing in pre-IPO companies, and we could before they actually went public. And after doing a little bit of research, I thought, right, okay, big money has been made in this in the past, and it seemed like a good idea. So we knuckled down to work. And to be fair, nothing happened really for about 12 months. Because we didn't have enough membership base, which means there wasn't enough revenue being generated, which means that we weren't able to get the quality companies. And that all changed around about 12, 15 months ago, when things started to happen within VA. And obviously, because we were producing more revenue, we were able to get better quality and really class quality companies on board, and since then the business has gone from strength to strength. And personally, I chose to commit solely to this business about a year ago, and I'm so glad that I did, because like Adrian said, with his absolutely incredible return just on Trig Media. I've spent a lot of time trading Trig and buying more Trig over the past 12 months, and the exciting part was that I chose to leave my stocks where they are for 2, or a big percentage of my stocks where they are for the next 2 years. And last Friday, I was able to generate, as far as the stock portfolio goes on Frankfurt, just in Trig Social itself, of just over 220,000 euros, and I've cashed out just over 125,000 euros after just over 2.5 years in this. And am I excited? Yeah, that's an understatement, and that's just one of many companies which are going to be floated over the next 6 to 12 months, and this one to be floated at 1.2 billion as a first major one to be floated by VA is quite an achievement in itself. And most people who have been in this business for 4 months or longer would have received shares in that company. And I always use the example of my sister, where she's been paying in for 18 months, and she chose once again to hold her stocks. She could have sold them if she wanted to, but she chose to hold all of them, and just her allocations, without buying any, without trading any, just the free allocations which she's had from VA has enabled her now to have a stock portfolio in Trig Social on Frankfurt of just shy of 14,000 euros, and for an investment of 89 euros times 18. I do think that's a very good return on investment. So, I don't know what you think, but I do think that's pretty good. Okay, what are we? We're a closed club of private investors, and like I said, it was founded in 2012. It's operating in more than 17 countries, and we have members in more than 70 countries. The main offices are in Stockholm, which is shortly being relocated to London, and so the company's main broker offices are now in Flintoff Street in London, in the city, and but the main headquarters is still in Stockholm at the moment. But like I said, the actual business itself, Viral Angels AB, is going to be relocated very shortly. So what does Viral Angels do? It selects companies and takes a strong stockholding position in them. How are they able to do that? Well, how are they able to select companies? Well, first of all, the team behind VA are absolutely first class. We have a guy called Philip Reed, who's our chairman, based out of London, and this guy was actually one of the top guys in Merrill Lynch, which is one of the biggest financial institutions in the world. And Philip is absolutely incredible guy. I know Adrian and a couple of the other guys met him over in Stockholm a couple of months back. And if you think about it, his contacts in the city to actually source different companies is quite extraordinary, and that means that the quality of companies which which we get are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But what does it do for the said company? First of all, it increases their number of shareholders, because for a company to go to the stock market, it first of all needs shareholders. Viral Angels, a closed club of angel investors, actually gives them instantly a considerable amount of shareholders, which helps them, number one, raise capital and assist the marketing through the network of members, and also it can Viral Angels can help them prepare for an initial public offering. And Viral Angel stock holdings are distributed as follows. First of all, 80% is allocated to the members. So, for instance, if Viral Angels invests X amount of money in a company, it will take a percentage of that company, but it takes it in shares. What it does then, it allocates 80% of those shares out to the members over a period of a few weeks, and 20% then is retained by Viral Angels, which is pretty fair as far as I'm concerned. So what do you get with VA? First of all, on a Wednesday night, and if there's anybody on this webinar tonight who is actually not a member, then Wednesday nights are a very good time to join, because at 11 o'clock or just after 11 o'clock tonight, we will have our weekly allocation of shares. The last couple of weeks we've been having shares in a gold mining company, which is absolutely awesome. I never thought I'd own shares in a gold mining company, which is brilliant. And you can get them before they're listed. There's no need for big personal capital within this. All you do is pay a fixed, affordable membership fee that fits your budget. And I often say to people, do not pay more than you can afford, because you've got to give this time. It's a long-term business. It's not something which is going to be here today, gone tomorrow. It is something which, over a period of time, I didn't cash out anything out of this until 18 months. 18 months in the business. Okay, and so pick the membership fee that fits your budget. You can trade the shares when you want in the back office between members. It's got a very very slick trading platform, so there's no need to wait until they're listed. But saying that, the idea of Viral Angels is to basically wait until they float, and then, or wait until the companies float, and then have an exit strategy for yourself on those particular stocks. Now, these are the membership levels. And silver is now null and void. You can't do that anymore. I must update this slide. Okay, but then you got gold up to diamond, and the bigger the package that you get, then the more shares that you get, obviously. But the actual amount of shares that you get are exponential. So, as an example, if you had 100 shares 1 week in gold, then at diamond you would have 1,670, I do believe. Okay, so it's not 10 times the money. It's more than 16 times the amount of shares, but it's certainly not 16 times the amount of money. But you choose the package which you can afford. So the membership benefits are: you get weekly share allocations, you get access to the VA trading platform, you get access to the VA bonus program, you get education and training through VA TV, and I strongly suggest that if you are a member and you haven't gone into the back office and looked at VA TV and watched the interview with Philip Reed, that you do so as quickly as possible. Okay, and that's very, very important, because why is this completely different? Most people wouldn't know where to invest. On my bank, on my bank account, I've got an income tax saving account, which is a Barclays normal bank account. I got probably 5,000-6,000 quid sitting in there, and the amount of interest that I'm receiving a month on that is 20 pence, and I can't work out how it's so low. But and then they take 6 pence tax, they take 4 pence tax off that for 20%, and it's like quite shocking the amount of interest that you get on your savings. And sorry, I'm just digressing a little bit, but the normal way, if you was going to invest stocks, were to find the right company. Most of us wouldn't know which ones to pick. You need solid personal capital. In other words, you need a considerable amount of money to get a considerable return. You need knowledge and experience, which most of us haven't got. And you have to wait until the company is listed before you want to sell the shares. The VA's way is that they'll do it for you. You've got an affordable monthly fee, which you can choose yourself. You don't need any experience. Just like like I said, my sister wouldn't know how to log onto her back office if she tried. All she's done is pay her membership fee, and now she's very, very happy with the return that she's got. And you can sell your shares anytime you want, even before a company is listed. And I can say, hand on heart, that this is the first, and I've been around this industry now for 23 years. I first joined a network company as such in 1992. And this is the first time that I've ever seen, and I think anybody else has ever seen, that 100% of the people who've been paying into VA have made a profit. 100%. Normally in most opportunities, most businesses, you've got a certain amount of winners and a certain amount of losers. It's the nature of the world. In this, 100% of the people have made a profit on it, and I think that's very special because, like I said, this has been the only thing that I was willing. And I know Adrian is the same on this, willing to put my father into, and I'm willing to put members of my offering it to members of my family because of the confidence which I have in the business, and more importantly, in the people running it. Because I don't personally buy into businesses. I don't buy into businesses. I buy into people. And when I met Tony and all the rest of them, all the guys. I knew that they were honourable people, and because it doesn't matter how good we are at our job, at our building of the member base, if we haven't got a good management behind us who work on ethics and want to see everybody succeed and not just themselves, then once again that makes this very special. So what do you do with you can trade the shares before they're listed. There's no broker fee. It's low share cost and very high profits. So you can build the club. You can invite new members and watch your income grow. And there's bonuses in 5 levels. You got monthly bonus, leadership bonus, quarterly cash bonus, and quarterly cash bonus once after director is probably, my sponsor's quarterly cash bonus for his senior director this month has been €36,000, which is better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, as I say. All right, and you get special promotions and share bonuses. There's the way the pay plan works. If you were a gold member, you introduce a gold member, then you would get €10. If they done it, they get 3. If they done it, they get 2. So on and so forth down to level 5. I know it says level 4, but that is level 1. Then you would receive €4. And believe me, if you got 20 payments or 20 payments a day coming in, all of 6 and 3s, it mounts up very nicely. These are the monthly bonuses which you get at certain levels, senior manager. And once again, you can just go into the back office, have a look at the career plan, and this is explained in more details. And the monthly bonus is paid out generally on the 15th of the month, and it's like clockwork, isn't it, Adrian? Like clockwork. Okay. Monthly,
definitely.
Yeah, you've got monthly leader bonuses up to, like I said, Anders has just received executive director bonus at 2% of the turnover of his entire team, and that worked out to 37. I think he said 37,000. I think I've written down 37,250. So that's the exact figure. Okay, which is fantastic, and there's once again it's just mind blowing, and that 5% is awesome as well. So you've got a lot of different bonuses coming in. The average estimated monthly income at the levels, I know that Joel in Portugal as a president is making around about €25,000. So basically, we are now the largest private equity club in the world. We're very, very regulated in London, and the quality of companies which we got coming on board with us now is first class. But the only thing I say to people is, look, give the thing time. And don't. Adrian was in a position where he could put more money into it. There's no need to do that if you don't want to. But as these companies float and the business gets stronger and stronger and stronger, it's going to make the opportunity is just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So,
but I'm glad I put my 5,000 in now, Gerwin.
I know you're very glad, but what I'm saying is, if you can't afford it, you don't have to do it. Okay, yeah, you're probably very glad. How much did you cash out? 28 grand.
Well, I got about over 500,000 shares, so times that by 7.5 pence. So I think it's about 37.5 grand. I think.
All right, 37,500. Anyway, the beers are on Adrian at my birthday party. Okay, so if we actually, okay, but that's basically what it is. Just all I say is join, especially if it's a Wednesday, and you know, we can go through it. But I look upon any business such as this as if you want to get this thing off the ground, just run with it quick. It's like building a business is like flying an aeroplane. It doesn't get off the ground unless it's going fast. You know, just build it fast and just run with it. And what we got coming up now in January, which they was going to be over this 3 months now, but due to the Trig launch, which was taking up everybody's time, the Trig sale, which was taking up everybody's time, that is going to start now in January. So if anybody wants to participate in that, and I'm just giving you an example of when we run the last campaign, which was called Rainmaker, at the beginning of this year, it created over 4,500 new members, and it certainly put a business into hyperspace as far as the growth went. And the people who were involved with that were very handsomely rewarded. The same way that the people are going to be handsomely rewarded for the Windfall campaign coming up. Certain criteria to do it, but all it means is that you have to be senior trader by the end of December, and anybody who's qualified previously, it will still count towards the first month. So you know, don't worry if you qualified last month, then you will still start off the new year in the Windfall at that particular level. So it's very it's going to be a very exciting new year. You know, when we got looking at companies like Fantrack, which is an awesome company, love it to death, and according to Athabasca, which is an oil, which is a company working with the oil sands in Canada, according to their website, they'll be IPO within the next 30 days. So you know, that's obviously depending on Euroclear and the stock market's actually signing them off, etc. But that looks a pretty exciting float coming up as well. But like I said, 100% of the people, first time I've ever heard about it, have cashed a profit out of this. And how much they've cashed is depending on A, what membership they paid in, or B, whether or not they traded and built the network and bought more shares, etc. So Adrian, I hope I've covered that. All right, I'm not sharing my screen now, am I?
No, you're not sharing your screen now.
Okay. All right, so any questions, and I'll let Adrian carry on a second. I just got to go and get myself a drink. All
right, okay. Yeah, I was just filling a few seconds here while Garen's getting a drink. Like I was saying, I joined on May the 8th this year. I started on a gold membership, €89 a month. But I said not everyone, you don't have to do this, but I actually put €5,000 of my own cash in on a credit card. I saw potential in the business straight away. I'd actually been following the Viral Angel business for the last 2 years, because obviously Gerwin is a local friend to myself. He just kept me in the loop, basically. But for whatever reason, 2 years ago, the opportunity wasn't quite right for me then. I was involved in other things, and my property business was priority. And but yeah, and Viral Angels, there was around about 500 members sort of last November, so it was just very early days for itself within the business. So, but since the start of this year, now the last sort of 6-7 months, we've just turned, I think, over 5,000 members. So the potential of VA now is starting to kick in, and the exponential growth is starting to kick in. So it is really a great time to join. Would you agree with that, Gerwin?
Yes.
Right. So hopefully Gerwin can hear me from wherever he is in the house there. So yeah, I pay, my membership is Emerald. Like I said, I pay him €550 a month. I'm not saying everyone can afford that. I think the highest membership is Diamond, which is around €990 a month. But that's my risk. I'm happy to pay €550 rather than leave my money in the bank. I'm getting a great wallop of shares every month, and I'm just really looking forward now to the next flotations. I think, as Garen was saying, Athabasca is the next one. Hopefully that'll be before the end of this year. If not, in the early part of next year. And then I understand Fantrack is going to float shortly.
The second quarter of next year.
Second quarter next year. And really looking forward to this, as you said, this gold mining company, Vasa Mining. I think it's a company based in Ghana, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
I seem to be getting a lot of shares through for Vasa Mining for some reason every other day now, and
I believe that's we were having this kind of shares in Trig last year, so I hope it's a repeat process.
that's right. Because the shares in Vasa Mining are around about 3 or 4 SEK. Is that right at the moment?
They're about half a pence.
Yeah. So.
Which were the same as of Trig were this time last year, while we were buying them for around about 2 SEK, 2 to 3 SEK.
All right. Okay. Let me just show. Let me just share my screen and show people in my back office, so they can get a gist of where I stand. Basically, I'll just click onto my cash account. Just make it a bit bigger for people to see. As you can see there, there's a lot of transactions going on there, and we're just trying to find that. Well, what I'm doing basically is I'm selling my Trig shares, but I'm going to be, with the money, I'm going to be spreading it around then in a number of the other companies, Vasa Mineral, Fantrack, Athabasca. I think there's a few more coming on shortly as well. So I've got a lot of money. I've got about 37,500 in Trig Media. So I just feel it's right for me to spread that a bit more in other companies, which is a good idea. As they say, don't leave all your money in one company, as good as it is. So let me just go back into my holdings, which is here. So there's the shares that I'm holding at the moment, and this is the one on the bottom, which I quite fancy, Vasa Mineral. I've just acquired 58,000 shares in the last few weeks through my allocations. But as I was saying, I'm an Emerald member, so I'm paying in the slightly higher amount than most people. And there's my there's a list of transactions there over the last few days. Windfall surprise allocations. I purchased some shares out of my commissions. There's my actual transaction there with Trig Media, 522,000 shares. So that's what I've acquired in Trig Media.
Hang on, I'll do the exact calculations on that for you.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, I've only been in since May. I put the 5,000 in, and I've just been purchasing shares like crazy. As you can see, purchase, building a team. The commissions that come off my team, basically over 5-6 levels down, I'm just repurchasing shares with all my commissions. So I'm building a business, but I'm looking at this as a sort of a minimum of 12 months investment. But basically, for the long term, like I said, I'm a property guy. I'm a property expert. I wouldn't buy a property today and look at selling it sort of next month or even in 3 months' time, unless I was specifically buying a property to refurbish and specifically sell it. At that sort of if I was planning to do that. But all my properties over the last 20 years have been bought to hold. So my plan is now to buy as many shares as possible over the next couple of years, keep hold of these shares, and then basically live off the income of the shares. So that is my plan. And if I can just cash in like Gerwin is doing, I think Gerwin, you've grown a 300,000 euro portfolio over the last 2 years. Is that right?
Yes, and also I'm withdrawing quite a considerable income from this now as well.
Yeah, so if I can achieve that, obviously Gerwin's been in from the start, and it wasn't easy at the start. So if I really believe I can achieve that in probably half the time of what Gerwin did, because of the way the company's growing. So I'll be quite happy to get up there to. I'm only around about, probably with my Trig shares.
Well, the actual exact figure on the sale of those Trig shares, mate, is 39,206 euros and 62 cents.
There you go. So I got 39,000 euros worth in Trig shares, plus I got these here now. These are my holdings here. I got a 23,000 SEK there. That's another 2,500 euros. There's about 3, 4, 5. There's about 7 euros worth here as well in the total of my existing shares, because my Trig Media is not included in this. So yeah, I'm quite happy with what I've achieved since I've joined, and I gotta be honest, I haven't done that much work. I've brought in about 17 people front line, and my team has grown to about 120 people. That's all really, and you know, I haven't really done that much. Let me just show my network without giving away all the emails. Yeah, on the bottom here, 119 people in my team. I'm a senior manager, obviously. So, like I said, I went out there and just done the business, made a few phone calls, brought a few people in, put a few adverts out, looked for people on Facebook. I do most of my people, I gotta be honest, who come offline. I go to a lot of business network meetings, 4N networks, BNI style networks. Like I'm off to the business show tomorrow. Anybody in London tomorrow? There's a massive network in London for Thursday and Friday. The biggest business networking show in the UK is tomorrow at the Olympia. I'll be arriving around midday tomorrow. I'll spend a full from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock tomorrow networking, exchanging business cards, speed networking as well. All that goes on. I'll be having a few beers and a meal in the night with some people I'm meeting up with. And I'll do the same thing again then. Breakfast networking Friday morning through to lunch networking. There's going to be a few celebrities there. I think James Caan is turning up off the Dragon's Den. So that's what I do basically. I go to these events. I got all my business cards laid out ready. A couple of hundred ready for tomorrow with the Vital Angels logo on. Obviously, I got a double-sided business card. I do property on the back and Vital Angels on the front, and I got a photograph on as well. It's always good to put a photograph on a business card. So when I pass that over tomorrow, people will just remember me from the photograph. I'll have a quick 1-minute pitch for them on the Vital Angels opportunity, and I'll listen to what they got to say on their opportunity. And then the key is then basically in the follow-up. I'll probably collect about at least 100 business cards tomorrow, and I'll probably just as much on the next day as well. It's very easy to collect that many cards in a speed networking session. And what I'll do, I'll take the cards away, put them into my database, and just follow up with a courteous email, and just keep them in my system. I won't spam them to a certain degree. I'll just keep them in, and if I'm attending another network meeting, say in a month's time in London or Bristol or Birmingham, I'll just inform them of the fact what I'm doing, and I'll just keep them in the loop. And every email I send out has got a Vital Angels logo on the bottom, so they can see who I am basically. They know I'm in property, they know I've got an online business, and it's all about building up the know, like, and trust with these people over a period of time. It's not going to happen overnight. Now, this could take months and months, sometimes even years sometimes to build up, but once you've built the credibility, then the people start flocking to you basically because they've built up that relationship with you over the years, and whatever you tell them, to a certain degree, they'll trust you in your judgment. So yeah, I'm putting my name on the line with Vital Angels. Obviously, I'm trusting Vital Angels as an ethical, real business, and they are trusting my judgment on that, and that's why I brought in those 17 people. And that may not sound much, 17, because a lot of gurus out there are bringing in sort of 30, 40, 100 plus. But my job is now to help those 17 people recruit as well and build their team.
Yeah.
Anyway, Gerwin, back over to you.
Yeah, that is a good point. It's like all about it's all about credibility, and a lot of the people who sort of trusted me in the beginning when they came into this, I was with went down for lunch with a colleague of mine down in Somerset on Sunday, and just from his allocations and purchasing, you know, some extra shares, he's just sold his shares because he wants to invest in Athabasca and take a little bit of cash out for a holiday, and he's just cashed out 100 grand. You know, and that's absolutely phenomenal, because the bottom line is all he's keeping on now is what's next. You know, what do I buy next? What do I do next? Because it is all about trust and everything. And like I've said so often, I don't buy into companies or what somebody would tell me. I like to meet the people, the actual people behind it, and you know, it gives you so much credibility when you actually meet the people, especially like you said, if people meet Philip Reed, and he's always in the office up in London. If anybody wanted to call in on him, they could. You know, he's that accessible. You know, it's just incredible what this thing has done. It's been completely life changing financially for myself and so many other people over the past 12 months. But in the first year and a half, or first year and 5 months, you know, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world to build, but we stuck with it and built the foundations. And now for the new people coming in, this is a walk in the park, really. an absolute walk in the park because all the groundwork has been done. When we started, the website was rubbish, the payments were rubbish, everything was going, everything went missing. You know, it was the amount of teething problems we had in the first. We'd have shares delivered to your back office the one day, and then the following day they disappeared, and then they come back the following day because the software wasn't good enough. But
yeah,
you know,
what I like about this company as well, they take direct credit card payments, don't they? There's not many companies that do that.
yeah, correct. And there's a new credit card system coming up again over the next couple of days, which is excellent as well. So they've got multiple payments. But like I said, Adrian, I put in withdrawals this morning, and they were on my card by midday. You know, within a couple of hours. And bank transfer yesterday, that'll be in my because it's coming from abroad. Then you know, it's the following day. It'll be in your bank account. And you know, not to blow anybody's my own trumpet, because I've been in this a long time and I've worked bloody hard at it. But I've withdrawn as an income just over $7,000 today. You know, and that's it's life-changing stuff, and I've never done it at the expense of my portfolio, which is my long-term security in the variation of shares which are there. Yeah. So the actual opportunity for people, if they're willing to stick with it, because you know, like Tony said when we were in Sweden, he said, "Oh, some people got bored with us," because you can never judge when a company is going to float, because the regulations and everything that it's got to go through. It's like when Trig was floating during the summer. It was first of all going to float in May, but there were some words wrong in the prospectus, and they had to change things. And then I think Phil said there was just over 30 versions of it went in before they accepted it. So that you know, that was delayed by a couple of months, but it floated on the 18th of September. But when, you know, if a lot of people in the summer thought, oh, you know, this isn't going to happen and all this kind of stuff, and they unsubscribed and they missed out on all the Athabasca shares, you know. But then all of a sudden something goes right and they all come back on again. Yeah. You have to have patience with this. And I was going to make this point, right? I got a black and I know James Roney knows this, because one of his guys is the same. I got a black diamond that paid for 3 months, right? So they paid in €2,970. Okay, now I didn't know, but he went about 2 weeks ago when Athabasca was sitting at around about €1.50. He sold them all, and he cashed 4.5. He made €1,500 in 3 months just on one share, just on one company. Yeah, and it's just, where else can you? Where else does that happen? Where else does it happen?
But most of the people, 80% of the people in this business are not networkers, are they? They're just savers, aren't they? They just save, aren't they?
Absolutely, they're savers. They're savers. This is a savings club for the small scale investor. You know, it's small scale investor, but you know, even the small scale investor, like somebody who pays in €1,000 or 1,800 euros in a year of gold, or £800, sorry, and you know, they get a return of 1,600, whatever. Then you know, it's fantastic. Yeah. You know, that's not what I'm looking for out of this, and a lot of the guys on here, like James and everything, we're in this for, you know, long-term wealth creation. But I've said all along, you know, in my career, I've made a good living out of the network marketing industry. But at the end of the day, there's a difference between making a living and creating wealth, which is what this does. Yeah. Right. This is wealth creation rather than making a living.
And it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's going to take time, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody who wants to get rich quick scheme, then this isn't it, unfortunately.
And I'm just showing the bonus career plan on the screen now. Basically, the challenge is not so much of a challenge, but the plan is to get to it is get number 7 years, isn't it? Director, isn't it?
Yeah. Do I notice on there the trigger's gone up to 18?
I'll go back and have a look.
Yeah, they're back up at 16, 17 now. Sorry, I just noticed. Yeah,
they're going back up. There they go.
Yeah, I bought €2,000 at 13 earlier on.
Yeah, they were down to 11, 12 earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought €2,000 worth at 13, so they've now gone up 25%. Yeah. No, 28%. So 28% of 2,000. That's 280 on each one. That's 560 euros profit if I was to sell them now.
If I want to buy a share, I'll just demonstrate a share. If I want to buy a share in Trig, I click Add Offer. I click Trig Media. I always set that to 7 days. If I want to buy, say, 100 shares in Trig, just put 100 there. 0.16 there. You click this message and you text, and that sends a code to your phone, to your mobile. WEE, just 2 seconds. Just demonstrating this. WEE W32. Whoops.
While you're doing that, I'll answer Brian's question there.
Yeah.
Brian, when you make your payment, you go into OmniPay, and there's a little checkbox that you just tick which says reoccurring payment, and as long as you check that, then it'll come out every month on the same day. Okay. So it's OmniPay. You go in, pick your membership level, and then go in and check, make sure the checkbox is ticked.
There you go. I just put that buy offer in for 100 Trig shares at 0.16 SEK. That green line there shows my trade sitting there now. I'll sit there for 7 days until somebody decides to sell me these shares at 0.16. Just done that as an example. And you can do the same on, if I want to go into Vasa Mineral, which is a favourite of mine. These are only 0.05. So what I would do on this one is just do the same thing again. Buy Vasa 100 shares, say for example 0.05. I could put 0.04 if I want to do as well to go in at a lower price, but that's basically the chance you take. Yeah, that could work, but you can just play with this. I'll put 0.05 in. Well, in fact, I will put 0.04 and see what happens. And click Add Offer. And my green bar should be in this 0.04 column here now. As you can see, there's a lot of trades on there. There's my green line.
Go back into your Trig a second.
The cash account.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a trade in buy off at the moment. So, oh no, it's gone through. Purchase 100 shares in Trig. There you go.
And that's instantly gone into the person who sold them's account. It's completely escrowed, as they call it.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, this gets a bit. This is where the smart people come in, really understanding the back office. You don't have to do this. This you can just use this as a savings plan and just log in once a month and just save and without networking or without trading. But if you want to put some extra money in yourself or from any commissions you're earning, if you want to use that commissions to buy more shares, then you can just do what I just did then, and put some buy offers in for some trades. So yeah, that's how you basically built up your 300,000, Garen, isn't it? From doing that, isn't it, over the last 2 years?
Correct.
So as boring as it looks, it takes time. You stick with it, and it's worth it in the long run, just to get those holdings and stocks on your back office.
Exactly.
There's a guy here, Francisco, his name. He's in the US, by the sounds of it. But obviously, we're not working in the US at the moment, do we?
We're not. Canada, anyway.
Canada, we are. Is that right?
Canada, yeah. I had a guy who lived in New York, but he was actually from Toronto.
Mm.
So but he still had an address in Toronto, so he was able to sign up from Canada, and he was okay.
Yeah, you have to have, if you live in the US, but if you've got a passport somewhere else, then that's different.
That's fine. It's just US citizens, basically.
Mm-hmm. But didn't the CEO Tony Norman at the last meetup in London? He did mention they are looking at it, didn't they? They are looking at to do something, didn't they? Possibly. Yeah. Nothing's guaranteed, but they are looking at an option.
They got to get the legalities done in it, because the USA got different crowdfunding laws to the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's right. Just looking through the questions now, because we got about 10 minutes left before the hour is up.
They said they couldn't see a screen.
They should have.
Brian, did you? All right. Okay. Yeah, he's just answered that. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, once again, OmniPay is the credit card provider.
They do charge some fees, obviously, but it's worth paying the fees, isn't it, for
Yeah.
for what you get, isn't it? Because I'd rather pay on a credit card definitely than sending a backs payment to anyone.
Yeah.
I know I've sent backs payments to companies, other network marketing companies over the years, and for whatever reason they didn't last. And yeah, my money's been lost. I feel much safer paying on credit card than I do on a cash payment. That's for sure.
Well, I feel safe sending it anyway to VA, but that's
yeah. So I'm not sure. Is there any more questions in the chat?
Yes, I'm just about to go in and buy some more trig shares. It looks like they're on the up.
Yeah. So what I suggest, guys, give this a serious thought, just especially to the newbies, and there's lots of opportunities out there, as you know, MLM, network marketing opportunities, affiliate opportunities. But me personally, I'm more of an asset-based guy. I like property, stocks and shares, anything to do with trading. That's my field, and that's what I feel comfortable in sort of showing other people. You know, don't get me wrong. There's other great opportunities out there. You know, potions and pills. You know, blogging platforms. There's all kinds of things out there. Holidays. You know, they work for some people. They don't work for others. But yeah, they're great products, but for me, I prefer to be working with, as I was saying, shares. I don't really have to sponsor. I can acquire these shares. When they go up in value, I can cash in at a later time. I've got the assets there. And it's not relying on me sponsoring, although I am sponsoring. I don't have to rely on it, and that's what I like. I just pay the monthly payment. Whether I sponsor or not, them assets are going to be there every month, month in, month out. And I'm in this for the long term, so... yeah, anything to add to that, Gerwin? Any more news on any companies coming on board, you know, or?
Yeah, there's a wine company being launched very shortly.
All right.
And so we're expecting 4 before the end of the year. When the first trig share will be sold, they've already started, and we're expecting the first monies to kind of start coming in next week.
Well, there's 4 new companies coming on before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so that's looking good.
Okay, Dev has just dropped a message in the chat there. The deadline to decide what to do with the TMG shares is gone. That is, to cash it, to convert to TSM, or to hold it.
Yeah.
What happens if you didn't make a decision? The shares just automatically stay in the back office. Is that right, Gavin?
Yeah, they'll stay in the back office, but you know, my belief is that whether I'm right or wrong, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty confident that the share price will follow suit in the VA back office anyway, because people are going to try to buy them. Because, like Anders said, we don't know when the next one's going to come out, but this isn't going to be the last offer.
Oh, you mean there could be another possible offer from Trig?
There'll be another offer, yeah, because
okay.
they're quite sought after.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
basically, can continue buying TMG shares in the back office, then, basically.
Which is what I'm doing, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at the price they are now.
Yeah, because considering it dropped to 12 or 11, 12 or 13 yesterday, wasn't it? So that was a good time to buy yesterday, yeah.
It was a good time to buy yesterday, which is when I bought the $2,000 worth. So if they go up to 20, or even if they go up to 22, and I turn $2,000 into $4,000.
Yeah.
You know, and you can do that in a couple of days if you watch the stock. It doesn't happen all the time, but it tends to go in runs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people worry when the share price drops in the back office, they tend to panic. But thinking of it, it's probably a positive. It's a good time to buy, isn't it?
Yeah. And the date hasn't been given. Obviously, they've got to sell all these first. And the reason they're being sold like they are is they can't actually go and dump them all on the market in one day. So whoever's agreed to sell then they're going to be sold off in dribs and drabs over the next month, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because if they went and dumped all of them in the marketplace, it would kill the price, and they're not prepared to do that. The price they've offered us is the price they said they're going to get. So they got to sell it as and when. Otherwise, it'll make the stock market jittery. So we're not in a place where you can just go in. It's like going to lob it. You can't just lob a couple of million shares into the marketplace straight away. It's got to be done over a period of time. Obviously.
Yeah, if you just panic sell, it's going to affect the price, isn't it, for everyone, isn't it?
That's right, and the exit plan which they've given the people here is fantastic, because it does mean that if everybody was given the chance to sell them all at the same time, then the bottom line is, by the end of the first trading day, when the person who was selling at 9 o'clock might have had a good price, but the person who was selling at 5 o'clock wouldn't have had any price. Because it's all, like with share trading, it's all supply and demand, and it's all emotion. So which way do we think it's going to go? It's all guesswork.
Yeah, our friend in Poland.
No, Don, I didn't say you get the first lot of cash from it. They're selling them off over the period of the next 4 weeks. So when you get the cash, it's depending on when they've sold your shares.
Yeah, and our friend in Poland, Shubshek, he's asking a similar question. When first trig?
Yeah, I answered that.
You answered that one earlier. Yeah.
They're being sold off over. They've started now, and like I said, it depends on supply and demand. But they're expecting, according to when I spoke to Anders, they're expecting that they'll all be sold within 6 weeks.
At the end of the day, we've all had a good story on trig. And obviously, I'm looking forward now to even further good stories. Once we get a second and third good story with the next 2 or 3 floats, then that's going to all add to the credibility of the company, isn't it?
Correct. And the more companies that float, the easier this is going to get, because there's an old saying in this industry: facts tell, stories sell. And it's all about getting good stories. And when you've got, the thing is, when you've got a good story to tell somebody about, everybody has created a profit, not just the chosen few. Some of the stories somebody who is successful, it's not the chosen few, it's the few who choose to actually do something. Whereas with this, it's a completely different ballgame, because anybody who's paying into it is getting value in the stock anyway, and as long as they're prepared to wait and be patient, then that's great, and not expect ridiculous results from it. Because I think a lot of people who have been involved with some internet companies in the past, where they promise you the earth for putting in £100 and you get it back 10,000-20,000 in 2 years' time, that sort of thing is not real. It's not real. We live in the real world in VA, where we're getting a good return on our investment. But when you talk to people who when you talk to people who are from the financial sector, who have been involved with stocks and shares over a period of a number of years, then they understand that stocks and shares are not a quick fix. They take time to mature. They take time to develop. Yes, there are a few. Actually,
Pakistan,
yeah, the support center is actually in Pakistan. It's in Lahore. Jana, who's the financial controller, been over there several times over the last couple of months, training the staff up over there. So they got a support center with 10 staff over there now in Lahore. So I got a couple of people in Pakistan, actually in Lahore. They're always popping around the offices. So yeah, it's certainly going okay over there. Obviously the biggest markets are Europe, but there's several people in places like Thailand and Pakistan. There's a couple of, not many people in India, but the main market outside of Europe is Brazil.
And the thing is, if you can find just one key person or one networker in one of these countries, the sky's the limit, then, isn't it?
Yeah, but like you said, when you're promoting it, you've got to make it real for people. Otherwise, they won't stay. You've got to explain to them that this is a long-term investment opportunity. And I know for you, Adrian, 5 or 6 months hasn't been a long-term investment for what you've returned. But like you said, you were the odd one who paid extra money into it, which you haven't got to do. But if somebody's in this just to pay the monthly, and they want to return, then they've got to be looking at this in 12 months, not 12 weeks.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this as a long-term savings plan. I just want to get up. My first target is to get to 100,000 euros worth of shares, and I'll see how it works then. And like, if I can draw a nice little monthly income off that, that's great. I still got my shares, and I can draw an income as well. That's my plan.
Yeah. So, Mary, does that answer your question?
I think Mary's one of is with Claire, and with Claire Hartman. And I don't think I've actually spoken to Mary on a live call, but I think she's with Claire.
Okay, well, listen, guys, we're here whenever you need us. Any three-way calls or any time you want us to speak to people, then we're more than welcome to, or more than willing to show our back offices to people. And that sounds rude, doesn't it? We'll show our back offices to people and show you.
And that is very powerful. If you've got any prospects who are on the fence, just arrange a 2, 3. I've had 6-way calls on my Apple iPhone, and then we switched over to Skype or TeamViewer. We've shared screen, and that adds the icing on the cake. Really, once somebody sees the back office and they can see some earnings and shares going up in value, that normally. There's a good chance of that person signing up to Viral Angels. That's how all mine have signed up, by just having a few 3-way calls.
Yeah.
That works great. So, and me and Gerwin are here to do those 2, 3, 4-way calls with anyone. So that's what it's all about, basically.
Yep, absolutely. No, I don't know. Are you having one of these next Wednesday, Adrian? Because I'm not around because I'm in Morocco.
No, we probably do this now 2 weeks a day. Now every 2 weeks, eh?
Well, I'm not available in 2 weeks. I'm not back until the Thursday.
All right. Okay. Well. We'll see how it goes then. Possibly, I'm not sure if Vic wants to help out for 2 weeks a day, or we'll look something else out. I don't know, but I like to do one at least every 2 weeks. If people can bring more, if our team members can bring more people along, obviously we'll do them every week. But if we can get like 50, 60 people plus, we'll do them every week. But at the moment, I think 2 weeks is plenty of time to sort of start plugging the links out, and it gives enough time to advertise it every 2 weeks. But I'll see what happens now then for 2 weeks from now. We'll see if...
Yeah, and don't forget, guys, as well, the webinar which takes place on a Sunday for prospects, where you can invite people along so they can have a look at the business opportunity. And just if you are serious about this and serious about building it, and for God's sake, go out and go senior trader before the end of December, because, like I said to you, the people who were in the Rainmaker campaign have literally made 6 figures out of it, and what an opportunity for the normal man or woman in the street can produce that kind of results for 70 quid a month.
Yeah, 89 euros, just over 70 quid a month. Yeah, that's all it takes.
Okay, so there you go. Anyway, we've gone over time now, Adrian. So
okay then. Thanks everyone. Thanks for that, Gavin. And like I said, Gavin's off for 2 weeks now, and I thought it was only a week ago. It was 2 weeks there. So
no, okay. I'm in the Netherlands this weekend.
Right.
I'm back on Monday morning, and then I'm going to Morocco on Wednesday.
So what day are you back on Thursday? You back here?
No, I'm going on Friday. I'm back on Monday. I'm around for Monday, Tuesday, and early part of Wednesday, and then I'm not around for a week.
Yeah, but the day you arrive back is what day? A Thursday.
Thursday.
In the afternoon or the morning?
Morning.
No, we could possibly do a one-off on a Thursday night at 9 o'clock, possibly.
Yeah, that would be fine.
You could do that, could you?
But yeah, but please, guys, just it takes our time up to do this, and if you can get more people onto these webinars, then it's going to help you build the business and give you a better understanding of because I'm telling you now, tomorrow we'll have people phoning us up asking exactly the same questions of what we've covered tonight, and it's very time consuming, especially as the business gets bigger. It's very difficult to individually talk to everybody. It's easier to do one presentation to 100 people than it is to do 100 presentations to one each, right? It takes too much time up. So please try and use these webinars to your advantage as well as ours, because otherwise, it'll just take too much of your time and ours. So we can answer all the questions to all the people at the same time.
Okay, so we'll go for another webinar 2 weeks tomorrow then. Is that right? 9 o'clock.
That's fine. Yep.
Okay then. Thanks, Gavin. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Ta-da. Bye.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.